Hi everyone! While being hard at work at implementing the technical foundations of my game, I also created something different. A diorama. It is a small level that demonstrates what some important elements of my game will look like later on. I thought it important to get a general feeling for what the finished game will look like. Now I have a much better understanding of the style I am going for, which will help me in the creation process of further 3D models. To start off, I took a look at how low poly cliffs would look in the context of my game. I'm glad that they turned out to fit very well into my vision of this game. The process of building out my small level gave me another idea. I could use the cliffs to build out canyons. To cover up the missing detail at the bottom of the canyon, I created a fog shader. I think it turned out really well. While building my diorama, I noticed that the visual clarity of the vehicle's team color left a lot to be desired. So I created a custom shader for them. Now it is very clear what team the vehicles belong to. To my surprise, a desert surface can also look really nice in context of the whole level. And sandy cliffs looked great together with a snowy surface. It doesn't really make much sense, but I think that as long as it looks good, it has potential. Let me know what you think in the comments section. One thing I learned is that I won't limit my game to a snowy biome anymore. I imagine even a grassy or flowery environment could work. There's just one important thing I need to keep in mind. Keep it simple so the users will be able to make good-looking maps without having to spend much time on them. In my process, I also integrated a graphical style that aids visual fidelity as well as clarity. There is one visual component I find remarkably useful in achieving graphical fidelity. It is ray traced screen space illumination, or RxSSGI for short. It's a technique that sends out simulated rays of light into a scene in real time. One practical difference between traditional lighting techniques and RxSSGI is that the former is limited to very few light sources. Adding further light sources has a significant performance cost. RxSSGI, on the other hand, can light the environment from emissive surfaces, which are a part of textures. This is unlimited, and adding further emissive surfaces to the scene has barely any extra cost. I imagine that this will look especially impressive on buildings with emissive surfaces. While being quite costly on the performance side of things, RxSSGI ran fine on my mid-tier graphics card, which is already over 5 years old. This was quite surprising to me. I always thought that ray tracing effects were out of the league of most older generation graphics cards. For anyone wondering, light baking isn't an option for me because my game will have user-created levels. The Unity game engine can't bake light maps at runtime. Well, that's it for this video. Please let me know what you think of this whole diorama thing. Tell me if there are specific parts you're intrigued by. I can make a separate video on almost anything you're interested in. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video on Project Pisces.